Monsieur le Marquis, in the name of Her Majesty, Empress Catherine II, I have the high honor of welcoming the representative of His Majesty the King of France, the 15th in that royal succession of Louis which has adorned the throne of France. And may I add, Her Majesty's, and my personal wish that France may be blessed with as many Louis in the future as it has been in the past.
In the name of my sovereign, I thank Your Excellency for the expression of welcome and friendship. My monarch and the whole French people united in admiration and respect for your Grand Empress, Her Majesty Catherine II. Vive la Russie!
Vive la France! And how are you, Marquis?
Bien, merci.
I can't tell you how happy I am to finally make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is all mine. And how are you, my dear Excellency?
Well, frankly, I haven't slept for days.
Huh?
Our alliance is at stake, and you, my dear Marquis, at one of the most important moments in world history, you waste 2 days in Warsaw.
Your Excellency is right about the important moment in history, but wrong about the waste. I am lover of the dance, and the lady is the most artistic dancer I have ever seen.
Well, now that you've practically ruined my health, at least tell me who was it?
This must be treated not as diplomatic secret, but really confidential, huh? Madame Polonska.
You mean Olga?
Votre Excellency, vous connaissez Olga?
Mais oui, elle est une de mes vieilles amies.
Non.
Et alors si je l'autrefois?
Je n'ai jamais vu des yeux noirs aussi beaux.
Oh, Olga. Il n'y en a pas comme elle.
Il n'y a personne comme Olga.
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 And now, my dear Marquis, I'll introduce you to Her Majesty immediately. Tonight, you'll escort her to a state banquet.
The privilege to accompany Mother Russia.
Please, never address Her Majesty as Mother Russia.
I'm so sorry, but in France, we always think of her as Mother Russia.
My dear Marquis, you may think of her as a mother, but for heaven's sakes, don't call her mother.
About the etiquette, I wonder if it's the same as in Versailles. Shall I always keep 7 steps distance from Her Majesty?
My dear Marquis, you've been sent here to bring our two countries closer together, haven't you?
My dear Excellency, I think I know exactly what to do.
My dear Marquis, please don't do it. Let Her Majesty take the first step towards the alliance.
And I will make the second step.
Not even the third.
In other words, do nothing.
Right, do nothing. But not too early and not too late. And by the way, Her Majesty hates the wearing of wigs. Of course, on formal occasions, it can't be helped. But in general, Her Majesty, being a true autocrat, naturally doesn't believe in the equality of all men. And she feels that the wig puts everybody on the same hairline.
Monsieur, the wig is the essence of our civilization. It is the symbol of our century. It is the rococo of the rococo. But I will make the grand sacrifice for the future of humanity.
Believe me, Marquis, men have gone down in history for less. Now I'll announce you.
Where am I?
How'd you get in here?
Please, take me.
How'd you get in here?
Look here.
Who are you anyway? I want to know. How'd you get in here? What's all this about?
Questions, questions, questions. Everybody wants to know. Everybody's chasing me. Everybody's arresting me, and Russia's going to pieces. Russia, my poor Russia.
My dear Marquis, I'm so embarrassed. A perfect stranger coming out of the wall.
Oh, please do not even mention. In Paris, nothing but secret entrances. Only the husbands and servants use the regular doors. In the salon of Madame de Paris, you can see the best people coming out of the bookshelves.
Do you know what's going on in Russia?
No, but I'd like to know.
No, can't tell you. It's only for Her Majesty's ears. See here, this is the first time I've ever been at court. All this is unfamiliar to me. I don't know who you are, but please help me. Look, I'll give you everything I have. Here are 50 rubles. Please take me to Her Majesty.
You can't bribe the Chancellor of Russia. Not with 50 rubles.
You're the Chancellor? The man everybody says is ruining Russia?
You're from the East.
No, from the West.
How things do get around. It's amazing. Now, look here, young man.
But, Excellency, Alexei, darling.
Anna, sweetheart.
Monsieur, I don't know what to think.
I do.
How did you get here? What happened? Why did you leave? When did you leave? How did you meet His Excellency? Oh, come, tell me everything.
Now, look here. I can understand you're not having confidence in me. After all, I'm only the Chancellor. But she's your fiancée. Anna, ask him why he wants to see Her Majesty.
Her Majesty? You want to see Her Majesty?
Anna, you know I love you.
Is something wrong, Alexei?
Anna, I don't want you involved in this. I don't want any harm to come to you.
What is it all about? Is it a military matter?
Yes and no.
Well, is it yes or is it no?
It's more an affair of state.
Affair of state? Do you understand these things?
A very sound question, Anna. Just a moment. Close those doors and keep them guarded. And if the lieutenant tries to escape, use your rifles. You're a very lucky young man.
Please forgive him, Your Excellency.
If I weren't so fond of Anna, believe me, I'd deal differently with you.
I'm not thinking about myself. I'm only thinking of Russia.
Nobody asked you to think. And stop taking yourself so seriously. You're the most impolite and rude young man I've ever met. Your lovely fiancée asked you a perfectly sensible and civil question. And what do you answer? I love you.
But I do love her.
And I love you too, believe me, but... Oh,
What's wrong now?
I forgot to tell you, Your Excellency. Her Majesty's expecting you immediately.
All right, Anna. And don't you dare to move.
He won't, Your Excellency. Please forgive him for being so stubborn and unruly. He's been absolutely impossible.
That's what I like about him. But don't move. And now, my dear Marquis.
Please, Your Excellency, will you announce me to Her Majesty before somebody drops from the chandelier?
Come. Your Majesty, I have the high honor to announce the arrival of the emissary of His Royal Majesty, King Louis XV. Ambassador Plenipotentiary, Vicomte de Baguelon, Comte de Bayon-Valais, Baron d'Avignon, and Keeper of the King's Seal, Marquis de Fleury.
Vicomte de Baguelon, Comte de Bayon-Valais, Baron d'Avignon, Keep the King's Seal, Marquis de Fleury, we welcome you to Russia.
In the name of my sovereign, I thank Your Majesty for the most gracious expression of welcome to the humble servant of my king. My monarch and the whole French people, united in admiration and respect for the Grand Empress, the light of the East, whose great statesmanship only surpassed by her military genius. And if Your Majesty permits, may I add the personal note to the impersonal formality of the occasion?
Please, Monsieur le Marquis.
I have seen portraits, many of Your Majesty, and I have heard reports most glowing about the beauties and charms of Your Majesty. But the palette of the painter has not colors enough to paint, and the lyre of the poet has strings not tender enough to sing about the beauty which my eyes have the good fortune to dazzle at.
Thank you, Monsieur le Marquis. But I want you to know that compliments of that kind don't mean very much in Russia.
Your Majesty, they don't mean anything in France. It's just our French way of saying hello.
Well, that's very forthright, Monsieur le Marquis. I hope you're going to be just as outspoken in discussing the political situation. Sit down, Marquis.
The imperial permission to sit in the presence of Your Majesty cannot remain unanswered. In the name of my sovereign, I thank Your Majesty for allowing the humble servant to...
Look, just sit down.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
Any decision on Private Chernoff, Your Majesty?
Please don't interrupt me. I'm very sorry, Marquis. So you saw me in my carriage?
Yes, Your Majesty, and I will always cherish it as the impression supreme. Your Majesty traveling in her carriage looked like spring on wheels. And when I say spring, I mean the season and not the thing which gives it bounds. When Your Majesty smiled at the crowd, it was putting to shame the smile of the Mona Lisa. There is old saying, see Naples and die. I say, see Catherine and live. Vive Catherine the Great.
Thank you, Monsieur le Marquis. That was charmingly expressed, wasn't it, Nikolai?
Very charming, Your Majesty.
Spring on wheels. Smile of Mona Lisa. See Catherine and live. Of course, I don't believe a word you said, but I'm awfully glad you said it.
And what about Anna?
What Anna?
Anna Chesikov.
Well, what about her? Why do you bother me? Can't you make a decision yourself? Must I do everything? For heaven's sakes, do what you want.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
You see, Marquis, that's the trouble. I have to attend to everything myself. Everybody wants something. Your Majesty this, Your Majesty that. My dear Marquis, you see me surrounded by thousands of people in glittering uniforms. I'm never alone. And yet I'm lonelier than the loneliest creature in the loneliest corner of all my lands. I'm lonely, Marquis.
I do not dare to compare myself to Your Majesty, but me, I am lonely too.